everything that your coach tells you to do is bullshit. Okay? With a caveat.
True or false? You should never cross your feet in a fight. Wait. Before you even answer that question, if you've had less than 6 months of training, I need you to click off of this video. Seriously, take advantage of YouTube's sophisticated algorithm. Go watch one of the recommended videos down there. Don't watch this one. I'm serious, click off. If you answered true, that you should never cross your feet, then what about the Ali shuffle? You say Muhammad Ali had bad footwork? You say, well, that's Muhammad Ali, he can get away with it. Or maybe you're saying, that's not crossing your feet, that's the shuffle. Duh. I say, okay, so you mean don't do this. Don't cross your feet like this. But what about in Muay Thai? This is how we throw our switch kick. And you say, well, we're not talking about Muay Thai, we're talking about boxing. Okay, what about Teofimo Lopez? He steps across center line, throws those check hooks. Is this not crossing the feet? The point I'm trying to make here is that phrases like, always keep your hands up, and never cross your feet are not rules. They're merely suggestions. They're memorable cues for beginners to prevent them from forming bad habits. And to me, that's what good coaching is. A good coach will help you form good habits while ridding bad habits through battle-tested fight theory. Okay, so in this video, we're gonna fly down to RKM, Hard to Hurt, Icy Mike's gym. We're gonna talk to a bunch of fighters and coaches and athletes about rules that were meant to be broken. And in this video, you're gonna hear a 6-time world champion, Gabriel Vargas, say that you can bring your hand down here when throwing an uppercut, just like Canelo does. And then now you're thinking, okay, well, we're talking about Canelo and Muhammad Ali and Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. These guys can get away with it, but that always bothered me, right? How come you give them the permission to do it, but not yourself, right? You gotta aspire to be better than these guys. And is it because they're great that they're allowed to do it, or is it because they started doing it that made them great? That's something that you have to consider. And here's the other thing too, you gotta refrain from arguing with world champions in comment sections about whether or not you gotta keep your hands up when throwing low kicks. If you do damage to your opponent and prevent damage being done to yourself, what's the big deal, right? And to me, that's the beautiful part of martial arts. The different styles, the different schools of thought. If everyone fought the same way, it'd be boring. So without further ado, let's go break some rules.
Pivoting your foot.
Hands going down, head going back. Everybody tells you not to give up your back.
Open my guard here.
Dropping the lead hand. Start breaking the uppercut rule.
What's up, everybody? I'm at RKM with Icy Mike's gym. We got some of the best martial arts YouTubers and world champions on the planet here. Today we're going to be talking about rules that are meant to be broken. There's a lot of things that coaches will say to beginners that you shouldn't do, and we're gonna challenge those right now. So who wants to go first? Mike, I think you should go first.
Yeah.
It's your house.
Okay, cool. All of it. Everything that your coach tells you to do is bullshit, right? Okay? With a caveat. I think that advanced techniques are just beginner mistakes done on purpose. You know, I think everything, and I bet everything that everyone says is the thing the beginner would do if he didn't have any instruction, but I'm doing it because it's on purpose, and for me it's just hands down. Some version of hands down, like, oh, you gotta keep your hands up.
Hands up, hands
and when
up.
the guy first starts, he wants to have his hands down because, oh, I can move around a little better, I feel a little more balanced, I can see. I like to fight with hands up, tight guard, right? But if I drop my hands and invite that attack, boom, you commit, right? And it could be both hands, and this assists in head movement. People don't realize that.
Yep.
My hands down helps me move my head faster. Hands down, put the head forward, invite that punch, pull counter, drop this hand, invite that right, boom, kick that thing. But your hands don't have to be up.
And when the hands are down, for some reason, I want to headhunt.
Yeah.
No one thinks to go to the legs, even though the legs are
Yeah,
heavy.
and they're probably based out.
Yeah.
Put your hands down. It's not that important.
Love it. Love it.
Pulling back or going backwards. A lot of times you'll see beginners, like Mike said, pull back to defend against the punch, but may not have a counter for it. So I would say pulling back with the intention and tension, because if you just keep your feet straight and you pull back here, you're kind of empty. I like to kickstand. And then coming back with a punch. So and then Mayweather, like Mike said again, dropping the hands. I see Mayweather almost does like a ratio type thing where he's matching the ratio of his hands going down, head going back.
Oh, like a counterbalance.
Counterbalance, keep the tension on the body and not just pull back empty. Yep. And then get that shot up.
Yep, I love that.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you. It's like grabbing onto the poles. That's what I was thinking about. Like there's a railing and you're pulling yourself back in.
I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that cue right there. That was a good cue.
I like to follow the hands down thing, but it's one of the Bruce Lee's 5 ways of attack, attack by drawing. If I'm here, a lot of times I will open my guard here because I want this particular hand to come in so I can touch it and back fist there. So a lot of the times I'll be here and all of a sudden open, and then I'll be like, boom, and then I'll take that and get the back fist into the hook. Mike knows about it.
Yeah, can confirm. Hit me with it a bunch.
It's a thing. Yeah. So that's my favorite thing. It's just because everyone's always here, but I'm like, ha. And now, don't get me wrong, it has
Worked against you.
Yeah,
as
worked
well.
against me
Yeah.
a lot too.
You know what? You gotta go back and watch Floyd against De La Hoya, and he does something similar. He's not going back fist, but he does show this a lot to throw the right hand, but he opens himself up to get close for the right.
It's more efficient.
Well, you're telling them where to put their hand. You know, you create a space, put your hand here, and then you can manipulate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Psychology.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so I waited a long time because I wanted to be a good one. And I wanted to be a little controversial. You guys might not even agree with this.
Pivoting your foot.
So
Do or don't.
I say, for this specific one, you do pivot your foot, but it's not when everybody thinks. For the roundhouse, for example, let's say I'm throwing a roundhouse kick. Lots of people will be like, "Oh yeah, just pivot your foot when you kick," and your body kind of stays in the same spot, and you're just kind of rotating around.
Right.
I think there's something you should do before you pivot your foot, before like the basics, like, oh yeah, like turn, pivot, kick. I think you should be pulling with this foot.
Oh, this again.
This foot.
Oh my God.
A lot of people also think that you push with this one, that you're like extending your foot with this one, but a lot of it, I think, is pulling, and then you can just pull if you have a good angle. A lot of the time you don't. If I'm like this, I can't just like kick like this.
Right.
I can't pull because I'm just going to end up in your face. But if I can go boom and then pull and then pivot, rather than just turn your foot, like use it like a sprinter does, like if you're going to take off and go like this.
Right. Right.
And then
Using
go.
both legs, so there might be a little bit of a push, but you're saying that lead leg is pulling.
Is
me into the
pulling
kick.
more than it is for power than for pivoting. I think the pull is more important than the pivot.
How about on the lead hook?
On the lead hook,
Do you pivot the lead foot?
Bro, that's a different video.
It depends.
I'm gonna go from the grappling perspective. So like jiu-jitsu or submission wrestling, everybody tells you not to give up your back. And I like something that Frank Shamrock said years ago. He said, if you're gonna give up your back, have a plan. So it's not that I can't give up my back. It's just a matter of like, hey, don't just give your back like, okay, here. But like, hey, I'm gonna give my back so I can make the next movement. And
Oh, the jujitsu's happening.
that's right.
We're doing jujitsu.
People are here like, never give up your back. But again, if I have nothing here, I'm like turn to invite that hand to come in. Now I just roll over, and I have that, and then I can turn and attack. So I can give my back if I have a plan.
All right, the one that really bugs me is the uppercut, because everybody messages me all the time, I can't land my uppercut's not landing, and you go in and you don't learn to uppercut like that. Like, nobody's going to tell you to do that. You know, they're going to say down, keep it tight, engage from there. But generally, if you want to land an uppercut, in my opinion, you got to set something up first. And when you watch like slow motion Canelo or Pacquiao or something like that, boom, back there, boom.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's just one of those things that, yeah, you don't want to do it at the beginning. You don't want to do your pad work when if you call for an uppercut. I don't want to do that.
Right.
But as you start getting more advanced and you have the eyesight to recognize, oh, the guy's not going to throw back at me, then sure, you can load up a bit.
Yeah.
So that's something that I teach my advanced students. Start breaking the uppercut rule when you get to that stage where you know you're not going to get clipped
I
for
love
dropping
that.
the hand.
I love that. Keep it tight in training because it's going to get a little bit more loose
Yeah.
in the actual fight,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
That's
I love
okay.
that we get to hear him say it.
I know.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
huge.
My thing is about dropping the lead hand, right? So sometimes what I was taught is you always keep your hands up. You can sometimes use the lead hand to either throw up in the hand or kind of reach out. Sometimes I'll drop the lead hand a little bit lower just because I can set up my punch this way. So I use my hand almost like a reverse uppercut and just go straight up like that. So a lot of times we punch like this and you rotate like so, but I like to lead off my body like so and then uppercut like that. So it's almost like a reverse, like a straight jab kind of thing.
I like it. Just changing the trajectory up.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is I even would say, no, that's not right. And I just went and said hands down because what we teach is I either want your hands up, up, up,
Yeah.
or all the way down.
Yeah.
They should never be right here. I say that. And then here you go. Just,
I do that to mess around people. Just this and
I'm
drop.
like, I'm being a hypocrite.
And
You know what I
this,
mean?
this too. This motion is tough to deal with too.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
So I do a lot of like drawing motion, like a circular motion, and I'll dig halfway and then project the hand right away.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach Kevin Lee. Guys, check out the description below. Please subscribe to all of these amazing YouTube martial artists. Wealth of knowledge. Till next time, I'm Shane with Fight Tips for the Underdogs. Oh, yeah.